South Africa is a country of contrasts. Rich and poor. Black and white. Urban and rural. This is our video diary. This is the city of Pretoria. Pretoria is in the north of South Africa. It is known as the city of jacarandas because of its jacaranda trees. Although, as you can see, in summer the trees are green, in October all of these trees turn to lilac and purples. Pretoria is one of South Africa's capital cities. It is the seat of Parliament, and the Union buildings are a key part of this. Sometimes weddings are held at the Union buildings, like this one. Bill and Janelle's house, who are our hosts for the week. But most importantly, here's the swimming pool.
Shall I wave, Ben? My class, right?
Yes, Miss Bear, you can wave to your class now. This is Team South Africa. Today we visited Pro Arta High School. It is a specialist high school for the arts and business. Whilst here, we were able to see dance, drama, art and music, as well as business enterprise, including a restaurant which is run by the students. As our focus was on maths, we all watched maths teaching during the morning. Pupils worked individually from textbooks, only sharing their answers through use of the OHP. Note in South Africa they use a comma instead of a decimal point. We were also special guests at a whole school assembly where the children sang their hymns in 2 languages, Afrikaans and English. We were then treated to a musical recital. We were honoured to see some of the most amazing artwork created by the pupils of the school. Then we headed off for dinner, Mr. Codd's favourite part of the day. Today we visited Bajabalil Primary School in the Mamelodi Township. Townships are the poorest of areas in South Africa. They are mainly inhabited by black families, many of which cannot get a job, as 45% of the South African population are unemployed. They often live in tin shacks or have to share a house with 3 other families. Despite this, the children come to school ready to learn in immaculate uniforms. They work from the same textbooks as other schools, but you can see how plain and poorly equipped their classrooms are. They have assemblies outside in the courtyard or playground. Many of these children had not seen cameras before and were desperate to be filmed.
We explained that Mr. Codd likes football.
Did you?
Yeah, so the lady
football.
whistled,
Yeah.
and then they went and got the ball. That's how she calls them. Never complain about our facilities, children.
In the afternoon, we visited the city of Soweto. Soweto is a very poor city in the north of South Africa. For many years in South Africa's history, black and white people were not allowed to mix. Soweto became the centre of the uprising against the period of history called apartheid. Although it was against the law for black people to get together in groups, Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu used the church as a base to bring about change. They were both awarded the Nobel Peace Prize during the 1990s after apartheid had ended. The Regina Mundi Church was their base for change. During the 1960s and 70s, there were many uprisings in this area. There are still bullet holes in the ceiling of the church from where the black people who met together were shot at. The Hector Peterson Memorial marks the spot where thousands of black children were shot at by police during a peace march. Children as young as 7 went on strike, refusing to go to school because the law said they must have their lessons taught in the language of Afrikaans rather than English, which was the language they spoke. The children cared so much about their education that they put their lives on the line in order to have their rights. Hector Peterson is the boy being carried in the photograph. He was shot dead and carried home by a neighbour. In 2010, South Africa will host the Football World Cup. This stadium being built in Soweto is a symbol of hope for the future. Linwood Ridge Primary School is an English-speaking primary school with forward-thinking attitudes. There are almost equal numbers of black and white children learning alongside one another, using a wide range of resources and teaching styles. Although it is a state school, parents subsidise the school by paying fees and buying the children's equipment. That is why their rooms are more colourful and the children have mini whiteboards and drums. Although the children still work through textbooks, these children were also encouraged to give explanations.
We're going to do 2 times table. 1, watch me first. 1, 2 is 2. 2, okay, so we're going to start from 0, and we're going to do 0, 2 is 0. Everyone together, let's go. 0, 2 is 0. 1, 2 is 2. 3, 2 is 4. Let's hear. 3, 2 is 6. 4, 2 is 8. 5, 2 is 10. 6, 2 is 12. 7, 2 is 14. 8, 2 is
number is, the smaller it is.
The bigger the negative number is, the smaller it is.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the right answer, but it's not a good enough explanation. Remember I said when you give explanations, you must give the explanation so that somebody is hearing it for the first time. That's how thorough your explanation must be. If someone hasn't heard of that reason before, what kind of a reason could we use here?
-5 is closer to 0.
That's a better answer.
Bannereng Primary School is a township school which has become famous for its work in the community. The head teacher here encouraged large companies to sponsor a school garden, which now feeds its 700 pupils daily. The sale of bread to the community has raised enough sponsorship to build 3 classrooms. The community here is now so involved that it monitors the school premises, and many of the tin houses from its squatter camps have small gardens by them growing food and flowers. It is an example of how, even with the least amount of resources, one person can inspire an entire community. This evening we visited Lesedi Cultural Village to learn about the native African tribes which live in South Africa. We learnt about the customs, houses and clothes of each of the tribes before seeing a native dance show. Mr. Cod enjoyed being treated like an African chief when he drank some native African beer. This morning we visited Woodhill College Primary, a private school paid for by the wealthy parents of the local area. The school has mainly white pupils and houses its own swimming pool with grandstand. Children here are encouraged to swim, play rugby and cricket, and learn golf. This school has a lot of resources, and children were able to build structures in DT, work in a purpose-built science laboratory, and paint their own tables in art. In all academic subjects, the children still sat in rows and worked predominantly from textbooks though. This evening we visited the Austin Roberts Bird Sanctuary. It sits in the middle of Pretoria, a haven for birds, antelope and humans away from the bustle of the city.
What happened was, I went to the pub at like 5 o'clock on my way home from work. I was thinking, so he said, evidently
Here we see the blue crane, the national bird of South Africa.
A lot of them I've always seen, but oh wow.
Our final morning in South African schools was spent in the Constantia Park Primary School. Children here are taught in the Afrikaans language, although all of the children here could speak fluent English, even describing 3D shapes in English to us. This school was well resourced with a well-equipped IT suite and lessons in OAA. Because most black children don't speak Afrikaans, the only children at this school were white.
Ek kon sien as ek dit neersit. So ek gaan nie baie beklaar wees vir my onderaan sig nie, want ek kan hom nie sien nie. Maar as hy daar staan, wat ek kan ek dalk sien? Ja, my agteraan sig, nee. My agteraan sig. My agteraan sig.
Our final 24 hours was spent in the Pillensberg National Park, where we saw some of the most amazing sights. Not only did we get close to some of the most incredible creatures, we also ate our final South African dinner in the middle of the park and then slept in chalets where monkeys and impala wander freely. One cheeky monkey even broke in and stole our snacks. But let us not forget that our visit to South Africa was about children. It was about reflecting on how children learn best and about what children need in order to achieve in the future. And South Africa is all about the future.